Hey y'all, it is February the 12th, 2019. Thank you for joining me real briefly. I want to cover some stuff with y'all. Cover the waterfront real quick. And it's about Parkland. First of all, go to Anthony 2B channel 12. Like I told you before, it's a must if you're into that Parkland stuff. He believes it's a 100% hoax. There's a lot of people who do. And they got very decent channels. I mean, obviously, I don't know all of them. But go and subscribe for show to this one. It's got backup channels. Also, go and subscribe to Anaconda Malika for number 2. Joe Joe Green. You could Joseph Cowan. There's a lot of people, but you probably already know a lot of people. Just wanted to point that out. I was over at Anthony 2B's channel. Like, whenever I see post something, I'm on top of it. Whenever Anaconda Malika posts something, I'm on top. I'm on top of that because I want to see what they're talking about. I like their style. Anyway, so it's on this video right here. It's a recent one. Parkland shooting part 1. LMAO. All right. And it was real good. It's real good. But I want to go to a comment. I left this comment. You can go see it if you wanted to. And somebody left a reply comment. That would be Iman Pudama. I don't know. Pudama? I'm not sure. But he left this comment. And I thought it was a very good comment and reply. I appreciate it. I want to read it out for y'all real quick. Start this off. He said, I think Parkland was a complete hoax. Like I said, there's definitely a large constituency. I don't know how many people, but there's enough people who think Parkland is a complete hoax. And what I mean when I say that is that nobody even got hurt. Nothing happened. Blood, there was no real blood. That kind of thing. All right. So he says, but I don't think people should be adamant. And I would tend to agree, but just to continue, he says, and say that anyone who suspects otherwise is stupid or a shill. And there's been a number of people who expressed that, and I think they're exactly correct. All right? Because it does not make any sense. Like some of y'all might know, I don't think it is 100%. All right? I don't think it is 100%. But I do think that it is a percentage, and I know for a fact that all sort of people are lying all over the place. All right? I want to talk about that in a second, but let's go ahead and read the rest of this comment. Says, I don't think people should call people stupid or a shill. Not that anyone here was saying that, because nobody was. I mean, that's the thing. I don't have any sort of, I don't try to force my beliefs on anybody necessarily, but people have done that, and they have done that. That's true. I think it's unproductive to simply call strangers out and call them stupid, call them shills. You don't know these people. They feel some other kind of way. It's good to talk about these sort of things, right? But let's continue this comment. Let's go ahead and finish it off. It's kind of a long comment. It says this. I think there are two things that people seem not to take into account at times. One is that operations are bound to be highly compartmentalized, meaning that you cannot be sure that everyone involved would know if any people really were killed during the operation or not. Most of the crisis actors we see might think it's a complete hoax, even if it wasn't. And even some of the people who are higher up the chain might not realize it, if that was in fact the case. And I know it's getting kind of complicated. He says this, related to that is the fact that you can almost expect convoluted mind games and double bluffs from intelligence operatives. This is a man who's thought about this, all right? He's pondered about these sort of things for a while. Just to finish, says, David Hogg's practicing his lines video, which I think was entirely acted out. And meant to be spotted is an example. Meant to be spotted. It's very interesting. Meant to be spotted. So while I think it's perfectly reasonable to assume that no one died and that no one got hurt, at least from what I know, it would be arrogant for anyone to absolutely rule it out. And the thing is, I had to read that out for you because I definitely could not have said it any better. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure I couldn't have. All right. Kind of laid it all out there. All right. So if you gathered that up, what I want to say is, yes, I still don't believe that it's a 100%. I do believe that people got hurt. All right. Which people, how many people, I don't know. I couldn't say. But here's the thing. It ain't 100%. But that's just where I've been going with. That's from the research that I've been doing. Now, I know for sure that people have been doing research all over the place and seeing all sorts of things that I'm not seeing. All right. And so they come to their conclusions. It was beautiful. It's beautifully written. All right. But just to add some icing on top of the cake, I want to say, from what I've seen, and I've seen a lot, and I want to explain about the documentary that's coming up. From what I've seen, all right, if it was, hypothetically, I'm just going to put it out there. If it was, and it is possible that it was a 100% hoax and nobody got hurt, nobody got killed. Okay, you're talking about some extreme organization, because just to lay it out there, you're talking about some well planned out, plotted out stuff that we just can't even understand. I definitely don't understand it. All right, in which the situation, like he mentioned, David Hogg, wanting to get spotted, wanting to look faulty, wanting to look bad, wanting to look unnatural. Let me tell you something. It's a million things. I'm finding out more and more. Up until yesterday, I'm still finding out different things that's just blowing my mind. All right. So the thing is, if it was 100% hoax, what I want to, just to put it like real simple, if it was, well, these people who are running the hoax, they definitely want to get caught. They want to get caught. Right? There's no other way around it. Because if it's 100% hoax, oh my gosh, have they left breadcrumbs? Oh my gosh, would it be so easy to figure out who did this if it was? All right. And I'm not saying it isn't. Could be. All right. But it's all over the place. Now, as far as the documentary, I got to explain something. Like I was saying, I've been finding out new stuff and more stuff and more stuff. It's a mountain, and I don't even know how big the mountain is because there's like clouds around it. I don't know how big it is, but it just keeps getting bigger. This mountain, the evidence. And so what I had to explain is Valentine's Day is coming up. All right. And, I've told people this when stuff's going to, you know what I'm saying? I would say hit the fan. This is when stuff's going to be revealed. This is what I got to add to the pot. All right. This is what I bring to the table. All right. Thing is, like I said, more and more stuff has been coming to my attention. And it's kind of pushed me back a little bit, and it does happen. Now, on Valentine's Day, y'all will definitely, here's the thing, y'all definitely get a little something, a taste, and it's going to be worth your while. I promise, because here's the thing about the documentary. It's proven to take a little bit longer. If I'm really going to put the finishing touches, if I'm really going to just put it all out there, it might take a few more days, but like I said, on Valentine's Day, all right, come hell or high water, if the creek don't rise, we're going to have a video, and I'm going to share it, and it's going to publish it. And what it's going to do is it's going to be like a little taste. Like I said, it's going to be a preview. But the thing is about the preview is it's going to pretty much let you know what exactly I'm talking about, or it's going to pretty much summarize, basically. And it's not going to be everything. Of course, you're going to want to see the documentary. But what it's going to do is basically, for whatever reason, if I were to die before the documentary comes out, all you'll need to do is take the preview and run with it, and you're going to find all the crazy wizardry that I've found already. All right, so you can have that. That's guaranteed on Valentine's Day. Of course, the documentary actually might take a little bit longer. Now, the thing is, it's not going to take much longer. I had to let you know just because I kind of tweak out on it in a sense. Like when I sink my teeth in and there's a documentary, I just keep doing it and I keep doing it. I don't stop. I do it. I sleep. I eat. Go to work and do it some more, and then I do it some more. All right, so it is going to get hammered out one way or another. Can't stop, won't stop, just to let y'all know. But since y'all been here for so long, I do want to share something with y'all. All right, so if y'all have a little bit of time, you might have already seen this. You might have already seen this right here, but I'll go ahead and share it with y'all again. Is this looking familiar? We're about to play this. We're about to play this right here. But before we do, I do want to mention this. If this thing works, I'll have to go to YouTube for it. Oh my gosh. And we're going to see if we can play this video right here. All right. I want to let you know, like I was saying, these people have to be planning out something crazy, because if David Hogg has lied a million times, and he has, if David Hogg can do this and he's constantly being put on this television over and over and over and over and over and over again. Now he's talking crap about USA Today, which is on the television. It's like, dude, he doesn't even care who he's talking crap about. We're going to watch this video. But before we do, it's important to note that David Hogg can't look more. I mean, he pushes the envelope every time. He makes himself look more and more mentally challenged every time I see him. And yet still, he still can't get away from that video camera. So we're going to check this out. It's very recent. He's going to blow your freaking mind if you haven't seen it. So let's go ahead and check this out. I know they're going to play an ad and everything. All right, y'all. We're going to see if we can't just run through this, maybe do a little play-by-play, see if we can't gather in and absorb as much total failure and retardation as we could possibly handle. The latest from David Hogg.
This week is the first anniversary of the massacre at the Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, where 17 students and staff members were killed. Today, Democrats are reintroducing the Keep Americans Safe legislation that would ban the importation, sale, manufacture, transfer, or possession of gun magazines that hold more than 10 rounds of ammunition.
All right, who these days has any sort of idea or inclination in believing that Democrats want to keep America safe? Democrats are right now laughing and cheering and dancing for open borders and murdering babies who are already born. All right? In front of our, and they want to keep America safe. How? By making magazines smaller. All right, that's how they're going to do it, and ban certain guns and stuff. It's not like they haven't been talking about that for decades. That's going to fail so wildly, but let's go ahead and continue.
Joining me now is David Hogg, a 2018 graduate of Marjory Stoneman and co-author of March for Our Lives. David, it's very good to see you, and thank you for forbearance, because we had the president commenting on the possibility of another shutdown, and of course the verdict of El Chapo. But 1 year later, you've learned so much.
I gotta stop it there, because she brought up the government shutdown, and then she brought up El Chapo while she's talking to David Hogg. This is already belligerent. Like, I'm already starting to wonder if someone was drinking before work. But let's just go ahead and continue.
You and all of your fellow students, tell me what your big takeaway is as to how America has responded to your cries for help.
America?
I think the biggest takeaway I've had over the past year is that when we continuously get in debates after everyday shootings or mass shootings, any type of gun...
When we continuously get into debates over everyday shootings, what he means is to say is everyday school shootings. I guess that's what he's implying. Or he just means shootings in general. All right, he said, when we continue to debate about shooting, that's not good. He said, we shouldn't, basically he's saying, nobody talk about it. All right, don't say words, because where's words going to get us? A dialogue between people to try and reason together? No. Teamwork? No. He said, don't debate about it. Let's go ahead and keep on playing it. Let's see if we can bring it back a little bit. He said, don't debate about it. He said, debating is not the answer, you guys. He said this.
Plans as to how America has responded to your cries for help.
I think the biggest takeaway I've had over the past year is that when we continuously get in debates after everyday shootings or
Everyday
mass shootings,
shootings.
any type of gun violence, that is not what's going to solve gun violence, because when we only end up attacking each other as Americans, that's not actually solving the issue. As Americans, we have to come together as human beings, united against all forms of suffering that are as a result of gun violence, and fight against that gun violence in the first place, with the understanding that even though many people may love me or hate me, we have to realize that the one thing that we cannot fight against each other, the one thing that we cannot fight against in this fight is each other. We have to fight against the source of that evil, that is gun violence. We have to be united in that front and realize that even though you may not agree with new gun laws, you may agree with funding mental health care more. You may agree with the violence intervention programs like Erica Ford has in New York City, where they're able to not even call for any new gun laws, and they're able to reduce gun violence by 40 to 70% within their first year of implementation through programs.
I gotta stop it right there just so I don't lose track. But what in the world? Was that a complete whole run-on sentence? I mean, really, was there a period anywhere in there? I don't know. He's not making a lick of sense. He's acting belligerent on the television, and people invited him onto the television to say these things. All right. He's talking about gun violence. He says, hey, we can't debate it. Debating is not what we need to do. That's not the answer. I'm young 19, 20-year-old David Hogg, and I'm here to tell America how America can help me. All right, America needs to help out David Hogg by not talking about anything, not debating stuff, not sharing news and information with each other. He said, no, y'all just need to mind your business. All right, and I know I'm paraphrasing, but that's literally what he said just now, and he's going to continue saying it. When I push play, he's going to continue saying it. But what he said is, mind your damn business. I'm over here, and I'm pretty much trying to ban guns. But y'all mind your business and just, why don't you help me out? Why don't you start talking about mental health and stuff? Why don't you start having a community program? And don't worry about, I'm trying to take all your guns. All right. And I'm a little boy who doesn't know very much. Don't you even worry about it. In fact, don't you debate about it. Don't you talk about it. Don't you talk about it with your family. Don't you talk about it with your community or nothing. He said, don't you talk about it. Just stay out of my way. I'm David Hogg. So let's continue.
It's like a life camp in Jamaica, Queens, in New York, right? So I think the biggest...
He's talking about this life camp over in Jamaica, Queens, like I have any idea what happens in Jamaica, Queens. I don't. But he's talking about it. He said, oh, man, they have a life camp, and it brought down gun violence so much and stuff in Jamaica, Queens and stuff. And they didn't even have to implement new gun laws. They have all sort of gun laws over there in New York. Dude, I've heard about it. I live in Texas. I've heard about New York and their dang gun laws. So, of course, they wouldn't have to implement any more. They got a lot of them. All right. So he brings up this whole thing. He's spouting out percentages, and God knows who he's talking about or what he's talking about. He's just rambling. All right.
Takeaway that I've had is that Americans, we have to come together and stop debating these issues and realize that even though we may not agree on the solutions, one thing that we can agree on, for example, is the fact that mass shooters shouldn't be famous. The people that should be remembered from my high school are people like Peter Wang, are people like Aaron Feist, are people like...
All right, I'll stop it right there. David Hogg is using Peter Wang. He's using Aaron Feist. He's using these people as like a shield to say, hey, don't attack what I'm doing. I know I'm trying to take all your guns, he said, but I'm kind of like Aaron Feist. I'm kind of like Peter Wang. He said, don't mess up the memory of them by talking about actual preventative measures or anything like that. Don't discuss that. He said, I'm David Hogg. He said, we got to think about heroes like these guys and stop thinking about who did it, who might have shot up the school. Don't you even think about that? Don't you even investigate? Don't you be talking about Nicholas Cruz? Don't you say Nicholas Cruz is his name? All right, that's against David Hogg's rules. He said, look, you need to talk about the heroes of this shooting. The heroes, by the way, were people who just, there's nothing that they could have done but get shot up, which is what happened to them, right? Allegedly, unless it's all a hoax. So he's talking about these people. He said these people should be heroes. Meanwhile, that doesn't even make any sense because he's using these people as like human shields to make himself look good. But meanwhile, that doesn't even make sense because had they not got shot up helplessly, nobody would have ever knew who these people were. They wouldn't be heroes. All right. Do you understand? David Hogg's trying to say, okay, your job, if you want to be a hero, make sure you get shot up in a school, because that's literally what David Hogg's saying right now. He's not making any sense. I'm not making this up. He's really saying it. It's really not making sense, but he's just, for some reason, someone's paying him to be on the television and calling it the news. All right.
Coach Chris Hickson and others that were heroes that day, along with the victims, not the shooter. Right, and that's why it was interesting that you just had the USA Today chief editor from Washington, D.C. on, because they're one of the worst offenders of that. They're one of the
I gotta stop it right there because David Hogg is a darling child of the television for retarded people, and everybody should know it. Everybody does know it, basically. Everybody has a distaste for David Hogg, which is outstanding because he keeps getting on television even though nobody likes this guy at all. Just he's unsavory. Even at a glance, he's unsavory, right? So he's on television. He's a darling of the television. He's on the internet too, but nobody likes him, right? So even though he's a darling of the he doesn't even know where to stop. He's now attacking the television. He's a USA Today, bro. He doesn't know where to stop. He's gone completely off the rails. I swear it can't even hardly get more worse. Unless he starts pooping himself in public, dude. All right, a little bit more.
One of the best news organizations at making mass shooters famous in the first place, because they always plaster the shooter's face everywhere. They always give them several hundred pages of coverage, and that's what the shooter at my school asked for. He literally interviewed him.
David Hogg's pretty much saying when somebody is accused of being a school shooter, don't you even think about it, don't you worry about it or investigate it at all. Just talk about the heroes. Those are the people who got shot up. He said, don't even worry about it. I'm trying to take all your guns. Don't you debate about it either.
So, before the shooting, and said, I'm going to be famous from this, and organizations like USA Today and others are responsible in that, and they have to realize and be held accountable for these acts.
All right, I want you to take another close look at his face. I know it's blurred right now, but he always makes this face, always, when he's threatening people over the television. He continuously makes this face. All right. Wait, but let's go ahead and play it one more time.
Coverage, and that's what the shooter at my school asked for. He literally interviewed himself before the shooting and said, I'm going to be famous from this, and organizations like USA Today and others are responsible in that, and they have to realize and be held accountable for these acts.
Well, there you go right there. Let's pause it right there. They need to realize and be held accountable. All right, David Hogg, when you're the one who's saying this, when you're the one who's calling for this over the television, you're calling USA Today out, you're saying they need to be responsible, they need to be held accountable. What in the world do you even mean by that? What do you mean held accountable? How? You want them to get fined or whatever? Do you want to extort money from them? Is that what you're saying? Basically, if anybody says anything that you don't like about a particular situation in which you were absolutely not a hero and not a survivor, well, then you're saying basically we need to extort these people. He said, don't you debate about any sort of gun violence or something. I'm going to take all your guns. He said, don't you even think about it. He said, you need to be a hero. You need to get shot up in a school, and then you're going to be a hero, and I'm going to talk about you because I'm David Hogg. All right? He said, but you don't. He said, don't you even talk about that. Don't you even think about talking about that.
Well, perhaps because of its circulation, but I have to tell you, all of us, speaking just more broadly, all of the media do focus on the killers and on their backgrounds, perhaps to try to learn something more about them.
The lady, she's trying to babysit David Hogg through this interview, and she has to explain to David Hogg, look, what you're doing is you're cutting out our feet from under us. Basically, we live off sensationalism. Basically, what she's telling David Hogg is we kind of feed off of the sensationalism of the killer, and that's why we show the killer on television. That's why we do it every time, David. I'm sorry that we do that, because David Hogg's saying, oh, you shouldn't do that. No, they're going to do that. They do it every time. All right. So she's explaining that is what we do, David Hogg.
But I take your point, David.
She said, but I take your point,
they
David.
should not be glorified. They should not be commemorated. And I did not mention them leading into you.
Yeah.
But let me also ask you, does this speak to local action? You spoke of a number of local initiatives. Does this mean that it's going to be very hard to get agreement on congressional action, that perhaps it has to be state by state, city by city?
Yeah, sometimes it does have to be state by state, and even at the state level, sometimes they don't want to work with us. That's why in Florida yesterday, along with several family members of people that were lost in the shooting at my high school, we introduced a ballot initiative that we're working on getting right now to ban assault weapons in our state, like the one that the shooter at my high school used, so that no other person gets.
All right, we're just gonna finish right there. That's basically the end. You already. So he's like, oh man, forget the federal government, man. I'll forget the Constitution. He say, oh man, forget debating. He said, man, I'm David Hogg. I'm gonna issue a bill because I'm David Hogg. I'm gonna put a bill and legislation through. I'm gonna see if I can push it through. Talking about banning ARs, talking about AKs, banning all sort of magazines or whatever I think about. I'm David Hogg. All right, that's what he's saying right now. So just to finish up on it, like I said before, if this is 100% hoax and everything, and it's all very well orchestrated and everything is going to plan per se, then David Hogg has to know how much of a wild, cringy failure he is. All right. Is he acting? Because it's like I've never seen before. I've never seen this sort of proud retardation that I'm seeing out of David Hogg. All right. And what I got to say about this little bill that he's trying to get and put some wheels on and stuff like that, no, it's not going to happen. In fact, here's what I can tell you. Nothing has ever, within the borders of Florida, nothing has ever failed so hard and so miserably, or even come close, as the bill or whatever piece of hot, wet garbage that David Hogg is trying to see if he can't put in. No, it's not going to happen. It's going to be wildly unsuccessful. People are going to hate it. People are going to pretty much throw it in the garbage, right? Basically, and just to keep it clean. All right, people ain't going to like it. All right, so anyways, I'll holler at y'all. Anyways.